Happy Tuesday, everybody. So I noticed that my videos are getting a little bit longer each day. So I went ahead and wrote out some notes for us. That way we didn't have such long videos. And like always, I will take a picture of these and post them for you to copy if you'd like. So today we are doing lesson 83, and it's on page 431 of your math book. And it's talking about proportions, or in other words, equivalent fractions. Your book calls it proportions. However, it's the same thing as equivalent fractions, which we've already discussed. So what is a proportion exactly? So a proportion is just another name for an equivalent fraction that represents the relationship between two numbers. And guess what, guys? Good news, you don't need to reduce proportions. The reason why is because proportions and equivalent fractions will always reduce to the same fraction. So if you reduced it, then you would literally just end up with the original fraction that you started with. So there's no need to reduce it. So now, let's actually look at an example. So which ratio, this is a multiple choice question by the way, so which ratio forms a proportion with 2/3? So all this is asking you to do is pick the fraction that is the same as 2/3. So the way I like to look at these, okay, most of you can pick this out with no issues, but let's just pretend that it wasn't so easy. So I would reduce each of these answers down until I get 2/3. And the one that ends up reducing to 2/3 is my lucky answer. So 2/4, okay, I know that that reduces down to 1/2. Well, 1/2 does not equal 2/3. So I know that my answer cannot be A. B, my answer is just 3/4. It doesn't reduce down at all. So 3/4 does not equal 2/3. So I know my answer cannot be B. Now C, if I was to reduce that answer down, then guess what? I do get 2/3. So C is actually going to be my answer. And D, we'll just do that just for the sake of it. So that reduces down as a mixed number, which would be 1 and 1/2. 1 and 1/2 obviously does not pair up with 2/3. It's not the same fraction. So D cannot be my answer either. So C is the only one that reduces down to 2/3. So C is the correct answer. Not too bad, right? Now let's look at another example. So if I buy 3 peaches for $4, then how much is 6 peaches? So the way I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to write 3 peaches and $4 as a ratio. So I'm going to put 3 peaches as my numerator. And really it doesn't matter which one is your numerator or denominator. I'm just putting 3 peaches because it is mentioned first in the sentence and $4 is mentioned secondly in the sentence. So I'm going to put 3 peaches as my numerator and then I'm going to put $4 as my denominator. So what this question is asking is, what is the price of 6 peaches? So you can think of it like this. So again, notice that I have 3 peaches and 6 peaches both in the same spot. So that means that my dollars also need to be in the same spot. So I need to figure out that question mark. Okay? So if you don't like looking at it like this, you can always take away all the extra stuff that you don't need. Leave 3 and leave 4. Since those are the numbers, okay, so I'm just going to circle that and draw an arrow so you know where I got it from. And I'm just taking away the word peaches and then the $sign. That's it, just to make it look a little simpler. and then I'm going to put 6 on the other side, and then I just have to get my question mark there. So there's lots of ways you can do this. You can do it in your head. Some of you that are really, really good at math, y'all can do this with your eyes closed all day long. Some of you that maybe struggle, let me show you the 2 ways. So one way, if you had 3/4 over 6, or I'm sorry, 3/4 equals to 6 over something, and I need that something there, I can multiply the 6 and the 4, which is 24, and then I divide it by the 3. So 24 divided by 3 gives me 8. So then my question mark equals 8. Okay, and I spilt some water right there, so I'm just going to have to write it over here to the side. Okay, if you don't like that way, then let me show you the other way. So 3/4 equals 6 over something, but I don't know what that something is. So rather than multiplying these two, what I can actually do is divide first and then multiply. So I would divide 6 by 3, and then, so 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then I would multiply it by the 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. And look at there, I still get the same answer either way I do it. So my question mark is 8. So then, how much is 6 peaches? 6 peaches would be $8. Okay, so hopefully that came a little bit easy to you. So let's do some more examples. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'll take a picture of all of this.